Hey everyone, and welcome back to the garden. Thanks for joining us on the channel. Home Living with C&E. I'm Chris, and if you've got raised beds or you're thinking about building one, this video is going to save you a lot of time, money, and stress. Today I'm breaking down 10 biggest mistakes people make with raised bed gardening. And trust me, I've made a few myself. So grab a coffee, water your tomatoes, and let's get into it. The number one mistake that you can make when building your raised beds or purchasing your raised bed is using the wrong material. Common mistake is using the wrong type of wood or material. Pressure treated lumber used to be a no-go because of chemicals, but most modern types are safer. That said, avoid anything that's rotting, painted, lead-based, untreated pine, breaks down in one season. Best picks are going to be cedar, redwood, or galvanized metal. The next big mistake that we're going to talk about are having the beds too wide. A lot of people make their own beds and they try to make it fit their space specifically for them, and they make the beds too wide. If you can't reach the middle of the bed without stepping into it, it's too wide. 4 feet or less is the sweet spot. You should never have to step into your raised bed. It compacts the soil and it stresses plants, and you could step on one of your plants. The third mistake that's often occurs for people is poor drainage. Now, when you're making your purchase or when you're building your beds, if you have no holes, no flow, big problem. If your raised bed doesn't drain well, you're going to have root rot, fungus, and sad plants. Add a layer of coarse organic material at the bottom, like sticks, wood chips, mulch, and make sure the bottom isn't sealed tight if it's sitting on clay or concrete. So be careful if you have really clay, dense soil. You don't want to break that soil up before you put your bed in place. Number 4 mistake that we see a lot, skipping the weed barrier. Weeds love raised beds too. Remember, you're putting nutrients, put high quality soil in your garden. Weeds are going to come. If you don't lay down cardboard, landscape fabric, thick layers of newspaper at the bottom, grass and weeds creep up from below and compete for your nutrients. Number 5 of mistakes, wrong soil mix. Just filling with native dirt is not going to work. It's probably too heavy, or just filling with just potting mix, not going to work. It's too fluffy. It dries out too fast. You want a balanced mix. And you can do tons of research on this, but some of the easiest fail-safe methods are 1 part compost, 1 part topsoil, and 1 part aerator, like peat moss, cocoa coir, or perlite. This gives your roots room to hold water, and it feeds your plants. The number 6 on the list, bad bed placement. You must chase the sun with your bed. Put your beds where they get at least 6 to 8 hours of sunlight, especially if you're going to be growing fruit crops like tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers. Don't let a shady fence or a tree or an awning or an umbrella in your yard rob you of having really good harvest. You got to get out into the sun. 7 on our list, no water strategy. Don't just hope it rains. Raised beds dry out faster than in-ground beds. So if you're not hand watering daily in summer, install a drip irrigation system, which I prefer, or at least run soaker holes. Also, you have to mulch your beds. It locks in the moisture, keeps the soil nice and cool. Lots of different mulching options out there. You go with straw, you can go with just a store-bought mulch. You can do chop and drop for your weeds, but you have to have a plan for watering your beds, and you have to adjust the plan. You have to actually check the soil to make sure that it's got a nice moisture level, that it's never getting compacted, or you can take handfuls of soil out wring them out and just water runs out, or it's just bone dry. So you have to be able to adjust the different times of the season in your raised beds. So important. Number 8 is a heartbreaker: pest and soil health. Slugs, aphids, soil disease will move in if you're not careful. Avoid overcrowding your plants. That traps humidity, it invites disease. Switch crops each season. You have to rotate your crops to keep pests guessing and keeps the soil healthier. If the pests know that you're planting the same broccoli, cabbage every year over and over again, they're going to set up shop really close by, wait for those crops to get in your bed, and then it's all over. You can also plant marigold or basil to naturally repel bugs. Number 9, number 10 is coming up, and it is the most important, so please stay for that one. Number 9, no crop planning. Don't just toss seeds in and hope. Plan your garden. Some plants like to be next to other plants, like tomato and basil. Some don't, like onions and beans. And tall crops will block the light from short ones. Think about spacing and companion planting. Do a little research. YouTube's got great resources out there. If you haven't grown before, you're not sure how large a celery plant can grow, then look it up, see what it looks like. Position those plants in your bed so that they can maximize your yield and they track the sun across the day. Number 10, and this is the number one problem that a lot of people have with gardening: not tending it enough. A raised bed isn't set it and forget it. You gotta check in on it often. You gotta pull weeds. You gotta top up your compost. You gotta check for pests. You have to prune your plants. You really have to give it at least 10 to 20 minutes a day to let your garden thrive. If you're starting to see damage to plants and it's going 2, 3 days without being addressed, that can be all the difference in the world. And aphids, uh, army worms, these things move in fast and they are aggressive. Also, if you're not checking your plants for things like mold or fungus or powdery mildew, like these are things that will aggressively take over your plant, and within a day or two of neglect, they're done. Bonus tip. I know I said it was going to be 10, but there's actually a bonus tip. Add trellises and cages early, before the plants get big. This helps you, once again, plan out your gardening and lets you know a clear idea and a plan of where you're going and what's going to be where in your bed and how it's going to be affecting the shade of the other plants and also the nutrient pull on your soil. Refill your beds each season. It's another huge tip. We like to refill our beds with compost and other organic matter, not just adding more topsoil. Essentially, we put in the base layer of mulch for good drainage, then we put in topsoil, and then every season after that, every grow period after that, you're just topping it off with compost. You want that organic matter into your bed. Another bonus tip: take pictures and notes. It helps plan for the future seasons. It helps you know what went well, what didn't go well. It helps you know what products helped you and what products didn't help you. That's how we're able to give you guys ideas on the products that work best for us, because we take notes. And if they don't work, then we switch them out. Final tip, talked about it a little bit earlier: don't overcrowd. Less is more. Big yields come from happy, spaced out plants. You don't have to do everything at once. You can start your garden and grow it over time. If you're starting out with just a 8x4 raised bed like us, you can't overfill it. You only have so many nutrients. A raised bed is not in-ground gardening where you can have an abundance of nutrients that are coming from the earth beneath. Okay. Don't crowd your plants. Okay. That's all. 10 mistakes plus some bonus. I've made so many of these. If you got raised beds or you're building some this year, drop a comment with your setup, size, crops, what zone you're in. If this helps, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe. We've got a ton of videos coming on the composting, natural pest control, growing big juicy tomatoes without chemicals. Thanks for hanging out. Now, go get your hands dirty.